Hello, my name is Haley Thorne. I did my project on what social ties look like while incarcerated. Within my project, I talk about what social ties are, how we understand them through the incarcerated population, what the costs and benefits are for both the incarcerated population and their loved ones who come to visit them during visitation. I further analyze it through Homan's theory of social exchange, and then I talked about how visitation can be reformed to further reduce recidivism. So, what are social ties? Social ties are the links between individuals and how they connect to other individuals, communities, and society as a whole. So, these are extremely important for the incarcerated population, as having a support system alongside housing and employment among reentry are one of the most important factors in their rehabilitation and reducing recidivism rates. As visitation currently stands, it can have both positive and negative effects on the incarcerated individual and the loved one who's visiting them. Therefore, visitation needs to be reformed to further reduce recidivism. So, maintaining social ties has costs and benefits not only for the incarcerated individual, but also the family and loved ones who come to visit. For an incarcerated individual, it could be beneficial for them for maintaining social ties and creating those pro-social networks that they will have amongst reentry back into society. It's also beneficial as it allows them to feel supported while behind bars, and it allows them to work through any feelings of shame and guilt they have from committing their crime. It also, when attended regularly, visitation reduces misconduct. It can have some costs for them by affecting their mental health when the visits are irregular. It could also cause isolation. Irregular visits also decrease their ties to society, which then does the opposite of its point, which is making it more likely for them to recidivate amongst reentry. Also, when visitation is attended irregularly, their misconduct increases. For family and loved ones, it can be very beneficial for those feelings of normalcy for them and their ability to reestablish their relationship with the incarcerated individual, or between their child and the parent who's incarcerated. However, it can have some costs for how visitation is now. It can cause a financial burden by having to go back and forth depending on where the prison is located. It can also decrease their mental health based on the stigma they face, not only outside of prison, but when they go to the prison, and correctional officers also see them through that stigma. It also makes them feel isolated from their loved one who is incarcerated. So it can be further analyzed through Homan's theory of social exchange, which basically explains how interactions between individuals is based upon the rewards and costs of the exchange. Each of the propositions up here basically explain a different way that everyone goes into an exchange hoping to maximize benefits while minimizing costs. This can be seen through the incarcerated individual's reward is like having the feeling of being supported and maintaining those social ties, whereas the costs are when visits are irregular, they can face misconduct and reduction in the maintenance of social ties, which only increases recidivism rates. So how can we reform visitation to reduce recidivism? We can do that by implementing conflict intervention, whether this is having a therapist on standby for when a visit gets heated, or having resources there, such as like pamphlets with information on how to get through the visit as easily as possible. There can also be family-centric therapy. So for those trying to reconnect the bond between a child and a parent who is incarcerated. Family-centric therapy would allow them not only to reconnect the social bond between the child and the parent who's incarcerated, but both parents, the one on the inside and the one on the outside. Thirdly, the contact maintenance programs, which I think is the best implementation to reform how visitation looks, is providing the ones who come to visit with funding, with therapy, and also creating maintenance, like a way to regularly visit. That way, by having those regular visits, it increases social ties for both the incarcerated individuals and those on the outside. And then lastly, those who do come to visit become a part of the reentry plan for the incarcerated individual. As they're creating these pro-social networks on the inside, it is also beneficial to implement these people into the program and how they can rely on them amongst reentry into society. And that's it. Thank you.